Well, hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you're doing fantastic out there. In this video today, we have another flashlight offering from Klarus. This is model XT11GT Pro. Tactical Extreme Output Flashlight. This one has a maximum brightness level of 3,300 lumens, which produces 410 meters of throw. So if we look at the side of the box, you can see that it's saying that it has the 5th generation TEL dual switch. So you have the primary switch, and then this side switch is the mode switch. So the primary switch is for one-touch access. You can use it to turn the light on in a momentary setting or a constant on. And then when you talk about the mode switch, it also has a one-touch strobe or a one-touch to low. Now I'll explain how you're going to get to low here in a minute. So they got a little diagram of a man with a firearm. So very nice looking packaging on this light. And then of course on the side you can see that it advertises USB-C charging, 1 meter impact resistant, IPX8 waterproof down to 2 meters. So for those of you who are not familiar with IPX8, that means this light can go underwater. Now it says do not shine directly into the eyes. And then of course on the back of the packaging you can see there is a QR code for the Klarus website, as well as more contact information for Klarus. So I want to say thank you to Klarus right off the bat for sending this flashlight out for review. I've done Klarus videos in the past and they are very, very solid flashlights. Now the current retail price at the time of me filming this video for this flashlight is about 90 bucks. Now when you get to here, you can see that it's talking about taking out the insulation film, and then it gives you a breakdown about the switches that we just talked about, and more specifically how to change the settings, because this flashlight has two different settings. It has what they call a tactical setting and it has an outdoor setting. Now from the factory, the light will be in the tactical setting. I'll talk about all this a little bit more in this video today. So let's go ahead and move that card out of the way, and you can see that the light comes in a very nice holster. So the holster has Velcro enclosure on the back, and it also will fit over a belt without the need of the Velcro. So it gives you both options. You can put it on a belt, or you can use the Velcro to put it to molly. It does have a nice plastic D-ring, and the flashlight is very well protected in this case that it comes with. I think that's fantastic. You also get this small box, and before we get to the contents in the box, I want to show you this little reader here. So it gives you a brief rundown of some of the products that you can also find from Klarus. Very cool. There is the XT21 Pro, another fantastic flashlight. These flashlights that you get from Klarus, this is the one that we're looking at today, they are just wonderful flashlights. This is a good company. They're good to work with. They've treated me well, and I like their products. So in this box, let's see what we have here. It does say on the side that you get a charging cable, you get a lanyard, you get an O-ring, and a user manual. So let's take a look at all of that. So right here, you can see the lanyard and the replacement O-ring. Right here is the user manual, right there. And then nothing left in the box. We do have a USB-C charging cable, so it's USB-A to USB-C, so very nice. Now let's look at the lanyard, see what the lanyard looks like. It says Klarus. Nice little lanyard. It's got like some texture to it. It feels like it's filled with foam or something. It's pretty nice, good fill. And I like that it has this little drawstring here. So you can get that around your wrist, and then you can close that thing down to whatever size wrist you are, and then you don't have to worry about the flashlight falling off. So very nice little lanyard. And again, there's the replacement tail cap switch O-ring. Now if we look at the user manual, it's very simple. Feel free to pause your screen if you want to look at those specifications a little bit longer. There's a packing list of what comes in the box. And then right here is the technical parameters. These are the run times and things like that of this flashlight. There's more information right there. And then this how to use, this section right here explains how to change from tactical mode to outdoor mode. Very easy to do. All you have to do is hold down the mode switch for a few seconds until you see the green flashing indicator. Then you push the primary switch, and then that's how you switch from one setting to another. So here it's talking about the tactical setting, which again, that's what it comes in from the factory. And here is the mode of operation. It basically goes from turbo down, and then it just makes a cycle that way. And then here is the outdoor settings. And then right here they talk about unlocking the light or locking it. So if you want to put it in a manual lockout mode, all you have to do to lock this light out is turn the tail cap switch counterclockwise a little bit, and then the light won't work. So here it talks about internal thermal protection system. There is a battery capacity monitor, and then it talks about how to put the battery in. There's how to recharge, and then of course it starts going into other languages. So now let's go ahead and take a first look at the light. I'm very excited about this one. Let's just take a moment and enjoy the beauty of this flashlight. Look at this. Klarus, I love the way this feels in the hand. You have a tempered glass lens, and looking inside you can see the luminous SST70 LED inside. That is just absolutely fantastic. This is 5.5 inches long, 1 inch at the body, and 1.38 inches at the head of the light. If you want those specs in millimeters, it's 139.7 millimeters by 25.4 millimeters at the body and 35 millimeters at the head. The working voltage of this flashlight is anything between 2.8 volts all the way up to 6.4 volts DC. So what that means is this flashlight can operate on a single 18650 rechargeable lithium-ion battery that's included with the light, or you can run it on dual CR123s in an emergency. Now right here you can see this rubber patch that goes into the USB-C charging port on the side of the flashlight. So you would plug in this cable, and this is how you could charge the light. It will charge at 5 volts at 1 amp. Takes about 4 hours. I've already done it off camera. You will see the indicator, which is, let me find it here, right here next to it. You'll see that little indicator. It will turn red when you're charging and green when charging is complete. Now in the event that you see yellow flashing or anything like that on that indicator, you might have the insulation film in, or you're not running an 18650 or something like that. It's for abnormal charging. Now the weight of this flashlight is 121.1 grams or 4.27 ounces. So let's go ahead and take a look at this tail cap section. Again, you have the main switch or the primary switch, and then you have the secondary switch. They call this the mode switch. So this is very nice. Let's go ahead and unscrew the tail cap switches, and you can see the build quality is very nice. You have a spring right there, nice looking build quality, And let's go ahead and take out this insulation film while we're in here. The flashlight won't run until we do that. And then now you can see that it has a rechargeable 18650 battery. This is a standard battery that operates at 3100 milliamp hour of capacity. There's the positive and there is the negative, and then looking down inside the battery tube you can see a spring down there. Now, why do I talk about that spring? I like that when flashlights do that, because that means the battery's floating in a spring. So if you drop this thing violently, the battery has a little bit of give, so it won't damage the battery. Now right here you can see me kind of peeling up that O-ring, and again they give us a replacement one. That's the tail cap switch O-ring. So as we thread the tail cap switch over that O-ring, that gives us the IPX8 waterproof standard, as long as our charge port cover is in place. This is just a beautiful flashlight. So operating this light is extremely simple. If we push this main or primary switch slightly, we will get a momentary turbo, and you see I could let off. So it goes straight to turbo and I can let it off. Or I can just click it on and now we have turbo on. So the momentary is just me holding it like halfway. So very nice. Or again, click it and turn the light on. That's 3300 lumens, folks. That is a very bright light. This will last for 1.8 hours and it puts out 410 meters of throw, 29,440 candela on turbo. Now if I want to cycle down through the modes, I'll just push the mode switch. So you see we dropped from turbo down to high. Now we're looking at 1200 lumens for 4 hours of runtime. This will give us 240 meters of throw and 10,400 on the candela. If I push it again, and I'm pushing the mode switch here, we're going to drop down to medium, 200 lumens for 12 hours of runtime. Think about that. Listen to that again. 200 lumens for 12 hours. That's crazy. We get 100 meters of throw on this medium setting and 1940 on the candela. If I push the mode switch one more time, we're going to come down to low. This is 10 lumens. This will last 120 hours. It gives us 20 meters of throw and 64 on the candela. Now, if you haven't figured this out yet, 120 hours is 5 days of runtime. That is just absolutely fantastic. Now, if I continue on the mode switch, we will come back to turbo. And then if I want to turn the light off, I just turn off the primary switch. Now, it does have a strobe, which is very disorienting. There's two ways to operate this strobe. We want to push and just hold this, and it'll be a momentary thing. But if we hold it for a few seconds, when we let up, it will stay on. So if I just push, we're going to get a strobe warning here, and it's very bright. So heads up, everybody. I'm pushing the mode switch. You see when I let it up, it turns off. But if I hold it for a few seconds, and then I let it up, you can see that we stay on the strobe. 3,300 lumens for 4 hours of runtime. It does not specify what the meters of throw is, and it does not specify what the candela rating is. Now, if I single press the mode switch again, you can see that the light turns off. So that's how we operate the light in the tactical mode. Now, if we want to switch this over to the outdoor setting, we want to locate the little indicator here, our power level indicator, and we're going to do a couple things simultaneously. I'm going to cup my hand over the flashlight so the strobe doesn't disorient you and you can pay attention to this indicator. I'm going to push and hold the mode button with one hand, and I'm getting my thumb ready. So my finger's holding the mode button, it's doing a strobe, and when we see this thing illuminate green, now I'll push the main switch and let both switches up. From here, we just changed the mode of operation from tactical to outdoor. When you push the mode switch, it does not go straight to strobe. Look at that. The light has a momentary, but again, if you hold it for a few seconds, the light will lock itself on. And then if you want to cycle through the modes, you can just continue to push the mode switch here. Now if you notice, it climbs up instead of climbing down. And the cool thing about this setting, the outdoor setting, when you turn it off with the main switch and you turn it back on, look at that. It remembered the last mode that you were on. So you can cycle up, let's say you want medium or something like that. Turn it off, turn it back on, and you're right back to medium. And if you want to turn it on with the mode switch, you just hold it for a few seconds. Once it clicks on, then you just go through the modes. You're counting up on your settings. This is really nice. So to turn the light off, we're just going to push the primary switch, and that's how you operate the light in the outdoor setting. Now if we want to go back to the tactical setting, again, we're going to locate the indicator, push and hold the mode button, wait till we see green. When we see red, there's green. Now we'll just push the main button, and then from here, if you notice on the mode, we'll be right back to strobe. See that? Right back to strobe. So that's how we switch from tactical to standard and back to tactical. Now this light, as I mentioned earlier, it does run on dual CR123s, but when you put the CR123s in here, it does not have a turbo function. It has high of 1200 lumens. That will last for 1 hour. You'll get 240 meters of throw. You'll get 10,400 on the candela, and then it'll go down to medium, 400 lumens for 1.5 hours, 130 meters of throw, and 4,200 on the candela. You'll also get low of 60 lumens for 16 hours, 60 meters of throw, and 900 on the candela. And you can also access a strobe of 1200 lumens that will last for 2 hours. It does not specify what the distance of throw is or what the candela is for strobe. And again, those settings that I just mentioned to you were when you're using dual CR123s. Now when you turn this light on and you locate the power level indicator here, you have a series of colors that you can see. So it'll stay on for a few seconds and then it turns off. Right now you can see we have kind of an orange color. Now if you have green there, that means you're between 70 and 100% of your battery life. If you see orange like what we're seeing now, that means you're somewhere between 30 and 70%. So again, if we turn the light on, you see orange, somewhere between 30 and 70%. Now if we see red, that means we're below 30%, and if we see flashing red, we are below 10% of our battery life. This is a wonderful flashlight. Beautiful, beautiful job that they did on this flashlight here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. You can see that I have some water here. We're going to put it down to this low setting, and we're going to test the IPX8 waterproof setting. Again, we got to make sure that our charge port cover is in place. We'll drop it down into the water. We can leave it in there for a few minutes if we want to. It's not going to hurt this light. Pull it out of the water and let's cycle through the modes. There's turbo, there's high, there's medium, there's low, and then of course we can turn it off. If we use the main switch, we should go directly to turbo. Let's try that. There it is. And if we use the mode switch, we should see that strobe. So strobe warning. Very disorienting. That is crazy. So as you can see, this light clearly passes the IPX8 waterproof testing with flying colors. Okay, right now we are looking at turbo. This is 3,300 lumens, and on this setting it'll last 1.8 hours, providing 410 meters of throw. Let's step down to high. We're looking at 1,200 lumens, and on this setting it'll give us 240 meters of throw, and it'll last for 4 hours. If we bump it down again, we're going to come down to medium of 200 lumens. This will last for 12 hours, and it gives us 100 meters of throw. I really like this setting. If we push it one more time, we're down to low. This is 10 lumens, and this is plenty of usable light. On this setting, we get 120 hours or 5 days of run time, and we get 20 meters of throw. If we push this button one more time, we'll go right back to turbo. And then if we turn the light off, I'll push the secondary switch and we'll take a look at the strobe function. So here comes the strobe. Now we are looking at 3,300 lumens of strobe, and this is extremely disorienting. This would be good for a tactical situation, and on this setting we get 4 hours of runtime. So hopefully you enjoyed those night shots. Well folks, in closing, my final thoughts on this flashlight. This thing is fantastic. I love the fact that it has a tactical mode and an outdoor mode. That is awesome. The brightness level and the beam pattern, as you saw for this flashlight, is just wonderful. I love the corrections and changes that they've made with these dual switches on the tail cap. The primary switch works really good, and the mode switch, or strobe switch for the lack of a better description, they just work very good. It does have a pocket clip that has good retention. The glass lens, I mean, the quality of this build is fantastic. If you guys are interested in this light, please make sure that you're checking the description box down below. I'll put a link to where you can find it. And with all that being said, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave comments down below. Like this video, share this video, and until next time, have a beautiful day, folks. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, everybody.